Welcome to the San Diego Disaster Show. Hey everybody, Walty Wanders, buckle up, strap in. We got a hard-hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows or sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. Let's jump back on the moto merry-go-round and examine the good, the bad, and maybe a little bit of the ugly.
No, Walty, not the ugly. Only examine rainbows and sunshine and the license penalty points.
No. Somebody's got to read between the lines and look. Between the ruts, we got some ruts to look through today. Welcome to the show. I hope everybody's doing great. So, Crap Dragon's in the books. I'm sorry, Snapdragon. You know, here's the thing. Snapdragon Stadium, I went last year, and I don't think I'll ever go back. I sat in line for hours in my truck, and just to get shuffled off and told there was no parking, no more parking. The parking lot was full, and I had to go park in some neighborhood miles away and walk down some massive hill, up and down hills. It was horrible. So when I thought about going this year, I was like, nah. I mean, I guess I could have shown up super early to ensure I got a spot. Let us know in the comments below if you had to deal with that. But the stadium's really small. We need to get into some football stadiums. And, you know, I personally preferred Petco. You know, I really preferred Qualcomm. Qualcomm was iconic. It was like gladiator games, you know, Roman times, a big old stadium. It was iconic. And even in the broadcast where Ricky's like, or Lee Spiffy's like, Ricky, doesn't that bike look familiar? 25 years ago. And Ricky's like, yeah, when I won my first race here at this race. It wasn't that race. It was Qualcomm. It wasn't that Snapdragon. And then they moved it to Petco Park, which was actually a little more decent. I liked Petco. I don't know why we don't go back there. But Snapdragon, the track's too small, and the racing wasn't that great. But of course, there was good. And there was bad, and there was probably more than enough ugly. Now, with that being said, let's jump right into some of the ugly. Now, the rules. I mean, come on, man. The rules that they are now enforcing with the penalty points and the license points, I mean, come on. It's like Formula One. It's like Formula One. No, who cares? This is gladiator games, blood sport. These guys are warriors. And to penalize them, I mean, first of all, the Deegs. The Deegs got a penalty point, right, for whatever conduct it was, for skipping an interview last week. And when he was, I could see if you're on the podium, yeah, you're obligated to go do a podium interview. But if they just decide, hey, we want to pull you because you're the biggest star, we need you up here, and he's like, I'm not coming. And so did you notice last night or Saturday night when he had to go give his talk, even after he won his heat race? It was super nothing. He gave them nothing. So you can't poke the sleeping bear industry. Deegs did not want to give that interview. He had a point to prove. He had an axe to grind. And he let you guys have it because he gave you nothing. One of the most boring speeches I've ever seen. And with that being said, I mean, the Anstey takeout, let's just call it for what it is. And the crowd definitely booed him. This was a bad night for Deegs. Yeah, he went out and won. He did what he needed to do. But, had he taken out anybody else, he probably still would have got booed. But the fact that it was Anstey. How do you not like Max Anstey? He's a veteran of the sport. He's a family man. He's your teammate. And you cleaned him out. And so for me, it was just like, no, dude, no. And I get it. I mean, this is racing, rubbing's racing. I mean, these things are going to happen. Even Max, Max obviously was clean up on aisle 4 because he's like, yeah, I should have known better. But what he really wanted to say, and he saw it when they played it on the playback for him, he's like, oh, wow. He's like, yeah, that was pretty good what he did there, wasn't it? And it wasn't good. It was bad. Because Deegs could have picked him off anywhere in the track. He had him covered. But he went in there to prove a point. He came in hot. And he does. It's in his DNA. It's all Deegs knows how to do. So, and again, he'll recover from this. He will recover from this, most likely. There's no guarantees. This is moto. But, it wasn't a good look for me. He didn't gain any points with me by cleaning out one of the veterans and his teammate. And Max Anstey did he was like a sitting duck there. Like he should have known better. And he even said as much himself. And he really should have. He's like, I know who I'm racing against. It's Deegs. And that's just the way the kid rides. He can't help it. But he can't. He can help it. He came in there and he made a point. He saw the red plate. He saw Anstey. He saw last week how Anstey had all the circus around him, and he didn't like that. He needs the circus. Deegs needs the circus around him. That's just, what he's become accustomed to. So, I mean, it is what it is. But I'm really hoping Anstey can recover from this and somehow win this championship. It's going to be a big ask for Anstey. I mean, he lined up with the hottest guy we got. Had he gone east, I think he had a really better chance to do that. But of course, he goes where he's told and where his employer tells him he's supposed to be racing. And that's what he did. Now, the reality is this, that we had a lot of other things happen off the track that are really significant for me. First of all, we brought a NASCAR guy in to talk on the TV show and Race Day Live. And it was really boring for me. I mean, listen, NASCAR is the most televised motorsport on television. So I get it. And Supercross is the second most televised sport. So we're doing cross marketing, but it's blatant. I would much rather see you bring an ex-industry star up there as a guest spot. In fact, I liked when they brought Chad Reed in. He was great. It was nice to hear from him. But this NASCAR, when I see NASCAR, it's just blatant cross marketing. And then we move into WMX. WMX, I mean, this is, they handpick the prettiest WMX riders they can find. And they do a full spot on them. And again, it was just so blatant how we're just trying to sell bikes. We're just trying to sell bikes and increase the demographic. Listen, bikes are going to sell. They're not going to sell by bringing NASCAR people on, chicks on, and even the poor Telemundo guys. I mean, those guys, remember like last year, because we had so many new citizens or supposable citizens into the country, we had to bring it to Telemundo. I mean, that's how watered down this sport is. And even the Telemundo guys are now that we're shuffling people back to their countries, they're in trouble. So, I mean, just get back to moto, pyro chicks, and punk rock like it was back in the day. Now, let's move in to a little bit of the racing. Here's the deal. This is insanity. Round 2. Do you know how many factory riders are? Kawasaki down to 1 rider, Chase, right? Marchbank's gone. Beta down to 0 riders. They had 0. Triumph this weekend, 0 riders. Ducati, 1 rider. Honda, 1 rider. Triumph, Ducati, Beta, Kawi, all down to 0 or 1 rider. That is gnarly, right? Good news for the privateers. Not that anybody's going to get a fill-in ride, but at least it opens up some spots for them to potentially become back markers and at least make it into the main and make their $1,400 or whatever they're throwing them these days. But I'll tell you who's doing pretty good right about now. KTM. KTM's looking pretty smart, aren't they? And Yamaha's looking pretty dumb right about now because Cooper Webb and Justin Cooper are both having horrible starts. And they had a chance to get Eli back on the team, but they paid all that money to Danger Boy, and now there was no money for Eli, and Eli's smoking them on the bike that Chase Sexton left on. And speaking of Chase Sexton kind of corrected the ship, but not all the way, that's for sure. Yeah, he looked pretty good. Yeah, his heat racing went all right, I think he won his heat race. But in the main, he hit the gate. And then, he came through the pack, but, again, he hit the gate. So at least he kept it on 2 wheels. It was definitely a huge step in the right direction, but he's got a massive points deficit now. The championship's probably out of reach because I don't see, anything can happen because this is Gladiator Games, blood sport. So you can find yourself back in the points hunt at a moment's notice. We got some triple crowns coming up. Who knows? But Chase, he's just, something always happens with Chase. He never has the perfect race. Now, Tomac looked great. Hunter Lawrence looked really good as well, right? He almost was able. Now, that last lap where Hunter reeled in Eli, he could have came in there. See, Hunter, if that was his brother Jet, that pass would have been made, guaranteed. And it probably would have been clean, and he would have just stuffed them, he would have parked them, and he would have rode off in the last lap and got the checkers. But Hunter is not that type of rider, and I respect that out of Hunter. I respect because he knew who that was. That was Eli Tomac. Now, had that been Anderson, I think we're having a different conversation today. I think Hunter would have went for that pass. But listen, he's a smart rider. It's early in the season. Do you want to end up on the ground and sacrifice a podium finish? No, you do not. That would be not good. Now, Kickstart Kenny rides. He led the most laps. He even said it himself, but he got the last spot on the podium. But again, podiums pay. It keeps you in the hunt. So Kickstart Kenny looked pretty good. Now, the other thing we got to talk about, a lot to talk about. If you're new, get subscribed. Not tomorrow, not yesterday, today. There's never been a more important time in moto history to get centered and surrounded like-minded moto people where iron can sharpen iron. George is back. We've got Jorge Prado back. Now, he had a decent he qualified second. Fastest, looked good. He holied his, I believe, heat race. He hung on for most of the race until Kenny got him. And it looked like, and hey, listen, this is racing. And like I said, that track was not that great. Chase came through the pack from last to fourth. So you can't really say too much it was the track. Jorge ended up becoming George again. And this was the thing. I think he was he looks good. He's definitely made some improvements. But it was not there for him in this race. And so there's a lot of questions with old Jorge. Everybody thought, hey, man, Jorge's for real. This is the real deal. But we got some splaining to do, Jorge. You're going to need to come back and recover from this one. Otherwise, you're going to end up George again. And I can see this still a little iffy in terms of will you last a full season? And if things go backwards like they did at San Diego, will you throw your team under the bus and start blaming the bike? You've definitely got the ability and priors for doing that. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a moto guy. I want to see not only win on the track, off the track. Understand the waters you're swimming in now. They're shark infested. Snapdragon, welcome to the swimming pool. It's kind of crap dragon, brother. This track is not a good track. I don't like this venue very much. It did not deliver. I'm excited to get into some football stadiums. I'm excited to see some triple crowns. A lot of these factory teams are already evaporating riders, and the television package is just as watered down as it ever has been. Bringing in WMX girls, nobody's really tuning in for that. Telemundo, that's gone. NASCAR riders, not working. Concentrate on moto. This is Gladiator Games, Evel Knievel, blood sport, extreme sports. You really need to bill it as such. Penalizing riders for conduct clearly didn't help you. Deegan's gave you a horrible speech, and he's proven a point. If you penalize him, sure, I'll come to the podium if you're going to make me, but you're not going to. You may as well just leave me off the podium because I'm not going to give you anything. That's what we're up against now. But the good news is, Walty will be here to blow the lid off at every step of the way. Because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media link in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there. Search up Walty Wanders MX on Instagram. If you enjoyed this video, you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Don't go over the bars. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.